What is up, my brothers and sisters? So there's an epidemic going around that nobody's talking about, and it has to do with school shootings. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my own daughter, her school was involved in a shooting threat, and you've got numerous schools everywhere in the country um, being threatened to be shot up. And they all seem to have a common case here. And with that being said, is the common case here is that the average um, school shooting threat has to do with like 10-year-olds to 13-year-olds. So I guess, like preteen children. And it always has to do with like Snapchat, right? So, there's story after story. Um, See, a 10-year-old, Texas police charged 10-year-old with a felony school threat. And it has to do with them making threats on um, their schools. And it has to do with, it's like an epidemic going on. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a trend or something. Like, I don't really quite know why this is happening. Of course, you have copycats, possibly maybe a trend, but it always has to do with like Snapchat, right? And they're making these, see, 10-year-old turned in by dad after a shooting threat 3 weeks ago. All of these are like within the past month or two. I mean, school after school. And, nobody's really talking about it. And I guess nobody's really talking about it because their own children have yet to face this threat. So, and see, 13-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, and these threats are to be taken serious. You know what I mean? So, it's a scary thing. 14-year-old, that's probably the oldest I've seen, maybe 15, 16, swatting. Georgia, students arrested for September 13th school shooting. Violent threats at Virginia schools. Talk of gun threats. Tomahawk Creek Middle School. High Point threatened school shooting. So you're having all these copycats. And, I think it's just, a lot of it has to do with like, it's not just parents and people that are losing their shit. It's also children. And a lot of these children are getting this psychological mischief from their parents and what they're hearing from their parents and the TV. And right here, this is where I'm from right here. This just happened.
Arrested a 10-year-old student who they allege posted school shooting threats online to cause alarm and panic. The school district informed families about the situation through this letter. Zach Whiting of the Texas Public Policy Foundation points to similar threats being made toward Hayes CISD, where his children go to school. The Hayes County Sheriff's Office recently arrested 5 juveniles in a 2-week span.
And we see this sort of endemic where that social media platforms and gaming websites and the like are being used to plan and propagate this,
So just a heads up, because besides weather manipulation and politics and all the other bullshit in the world, there's things happening on your very doorstep that actually matter, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like things that actually matter. So, just a heads up.